The Golden Quest. We began our journey before sunrise, the air cold against our faces as we carried heavy packs filled with tools, food, and hope, for the rumor of hidden gold deep within the forest had burned inside us for months. The road stretched endlessly, dust rising behind our boots, and each step reminded us that we were leaving comfort for danger. My friends walked beside me, their eyes bright with determination, yet shadows of doubt flickered whenever the silence of the wilderness pressed too close. We crossed hills where the wind screamed like ghosts and valleys where rivers twisted like silver snakes, and every night we lit small fires that barely pushed back the dark. Strange sounds echoed from the trees, reminding us that the forest was alive with unseen eyes, watching our progress. Still, the dream of gold pulled us forward, and we imagined the streams glistening with treasure waiting for our hands. After days of walking, our bodies ached, yet none of us complained, for each mile meant we were closer to fortune. We waded through swamps that clung to our legs and crossed rope bridges that swayed dangerously over cliffs, hearts pounding with fear and thrill. Hunger gnawed at us when our food supplies ran thin, but we hunted small game and shared every bite, promising each other that the gold would repay all suffering. Rain lashed against our tents at night, and thunder shook the ground as if warning us to turn back, but we refused. The deeper we went, the wilder the forest grew, vines like serpents hanging across our path and insects biting until our skin burned. Yet the rivers whispered, calling us forward, and we swore we could almost hear the chime of golden pebbles beneath the water. One morning, after a brutal climb over jagged rocks, we finally reached a hidden valley where the trees parted to reveal streams glimmering in sunlight. Our hearts surged, for we knew this was the place. We dropped our packs, pulled out pans and shovels, and ran to the water like children chasing dreams. The first scoop of gravel felt like lifting the weight of history, and we stared in awe when tiny flecks of gold appeared among the stones. Excitement roared through us, louder than the river itself, as we worked tirelessly, each pan filling with more glittering fragments. Hours turned into days, and exhaustion became meaningless, replaced by feverish determination to gather more. The stream seemed endless, each bend offering new promise, and soon we uncovered nuggets, the size of teeth heavy in our hands. We shouted, laughed, and even cried, believing fortune was finally ours. But the forest was not silent. Strange tracks appeared around our camp, and at night we heard rustling too heavy for animals. Still, greed drove us onward, and we ignored the warnings. Our bodies weakened, our clothes torn, yet the sight of gold healed every pain. One of my friends slipped into the river, swept by the current, but he fought back and climbed out, clutching a nugget even as his breath failed. Another fell sick from the water, fever burning, but he whispered through his pain, "Do not stop, the gold is here." We pressed deeper into the valley, discovering hidden streams behind curtains of vines, where sunlight broke through the canopy in golden shafts. The ground glittered with flakes, as if the earth itself bled treasure. We dug trenches, filled sacks, and still it never seemed enough. Arguments sparked, tempers rose, for the gold made us restless, hungry for more. Trust began to crack, yet we stayed together, bound by the same fever. One night, under a red moon, we gathered by the fire, our faces hollow yet, glowing with the reflection of our riches. Tomorrow, I said, we search farther upstream, where the water sings the loudest. At dawn we followed the river, hacking through thick branches until the stream narrowed into a hidden gorge. The current rushed with fury, but the bottom glowed like scattered stars. We built makeshift rafts, daring the rapids, and clung to them as the water hurled us forward. When we reached calmer pools, the reward was beyond belief. Giant nuggets lay buried in the sand, so bright they blinded us. We screamed with triumph, our voices echoing against the cliffs. Yet the forest answered with silence too deep, and a storm gathered above. Rain poured, flooding the valley, and the river swelled with violence. Our bags of gold grew heavier, slowing our escape. But none of us wanted to abandon them. Lightning split the sky as trees crashed down, and the current threatened to tear us apart. We clung to each other, refusing to let go, even as the river dragged us downstream. Hours passed before the storm eased, leaving us shivering and battered on the bank, our treasures scattered across the mud. Exhaustion crushed us, but the sight of gold still, shining among the rocks, reignited our strength. We crawled, gathered, and filled our arms again, unwilling to leave a single piece behind. Days blurred into nights as we labor.
Tao ngồi dưới được hay rồi. Không mẹ, tuyệt vời. Hai mày không?